Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I hope that you are having a great day. Thank you for joining me here on the African Diaspora News channel, where you can find me Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Again, Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And you can also find me on my very own channel on YouTube and Facebook, The Demetra Kaye Show, Sunday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Again, Sunday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. So today we're going to have another interesting conversation, and we are keeping in the same conversation of former HPD cop Ashley Gonzalez, and some more fallout, especially from her community, and they don't feel like they should apologize. So we're going to be talking about, this is just one of many, right? A Latina saying they don't need to apologize for what anti-Black HPD officer Ashley Gonzalez said. So I'm going to show you the video, and we're going to try to educate this woman because there's a lot of things she's just not aware of. But you'll get to hear some of these things that she has to say. But nevertheless, as we are waiting for more and more people to trickle on in, I should say too that our brother Phil will be out with Dr. Candace Matthews. They're going to do a pull up. It should be going on now or getting ready to in the near future at Heart's Chicken, and I'm sure he is going to talk all about that tonight. So I cannot wait to see what happened. But in the meantime, you can catch us in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, to be exact, at the Black Expo. Again, we have been invited out for a second year to go and speak to everybody, and we're going to be having a back and forth, a question and answer. And me personally, am so excited about that, as I love to interact with everybody. So I cannot wait to see that. But in order for you to do that, you have to get your tickets at ohioblackexpo.com, ohioblackexpo.com on May 23rd. There'll be a whole host of other people out there, artists like October London, Moni Love, you name it, right? Loose Ends. Woohoo! I'm so excited about that. Just food and you name it. You do not want to miss this. So again, go to ohioblackexpo.com to get your ticket. It's funny, I had a power outage, but luckily I got, my stuff hooked up. That is so weird. But anyway, also you can find us in Toronto, Canada. July 25th, we'll be doing the same thing like we're going to be doing in Ohio, having a great conversation with everybody. The ADNC Narrative Power Summit. In order to do that, you have to go to africandiasporanews.org/Canada, africandiasporanews.org/Canada. And from what I hear, it's selling out very fast, right? Because people want to come and just, have a conversation with us. So hurry up and get your tickets, please, and thank you. Also, one last thing, we have an app here, African Diaspora News channel app, that you can get from your Google and Apple Play Store. It is an app that we made for you, from us, to cover all the news that you can use, the news you will not get on mainstream media, right? The ABC, CBS, they're not going to tell you the stuff that we're talking about now. They talked about Ashley Gonzalez a little bit, but it went away, right? But this is a conversation that needs to continue to be talked about, because it's an ongoing thing. Just because we don't see it in the media anymore doesn't mean that these issues don't exist. So if you go to africandiasporanews.org and download the app for your Google or Apple Play Store, we would appreciate you, because we cannot complain about the coverage that we get on mainstream media, and we don't support Black-owned media. So please and thank you. So anyway, I'm going to say hello to everybody once I'm done what I'm doing. So anyway, as I was saying, this is a little bit more fallout from the Ashley Gonzalez situation. Now, you guys, I'm sure, are aware of what happened. I won't show y'all the video, as it is a lot. But basically, that is Ashley Gonzalez. She was a police officer at the Houston Police Department. Last week, she was fired. They had to do an investigation and things like that. But basically, she was on her Instagram, I guess, for her select amount of friends. Well, one of those friends was like, I'm not with the stuff. But she had a whole lot of horrible things to say about Black folks, call us the N-word 2 types of ways, right? Said that she hates us, and basically the next Black person that she arrests, that she was gonna, take them to jail. Simply on the strength that she hates Black people. Now, she was also lamenting that somebody tried to steal her wallet or stole her friend's wallet, and she attributed that one particular person to all Black folks. But something tells us that that's not the first time that she felt that way and said those things. She just got caught. Now, not only with that, her being fired, the Houston District Attorney's Office said that they are going to be looking into her former cases to see if there was any misconduct regarding, Black folks and her, maybe planting some stuff or whatever it is she might have done that is nefarious, due to the statements that she made as a police officer at the time, hating Black folks, and that she was going to do something to them. So that's Ashley. Okay. In case you did not know, and I guess nobody knows where Ashley is. Maybe she's in hiding, right? It's a shameful thing what she did. Now, this next video I'm about to show you is somebody from Ashley's community that was like, we ain't got to apologize. Are you kidding me? So here we go.
Do not need to apologize to the Black community for what Ashley did, because we did not do it. It's crazy to me to see so many videos of Black people using that as an excuse to say they support ICE, to say so many horrible things. The people who are doing that, they're just as racist as Ashley, and you don't deserve no respect. So I'm not gonna apologize for that. For the Black people that like us, we like you back. If you don't like us, it's fine. We don't need to be kissing butt or anything because we didn't do it. It's crazy because they always use an excuse to like discriminate on us, and if we say something, then we're racist. Like, for example, when Jada over there in New York was assaulted, it wasn't even Latinos or Mexicans, and they were blaming us already. They were doing protesting, and they went crazy saying they hated Mexicans, and it wasn't even Mexicans. And then they will do trends making fun of Mexican women that we look like freaks. When we defend ourselves, they will say that we're racist. So every time they do something to us, they want us to apologize for what? We didn't do anything. So if you are posting those videos saying that we are racist and we don't like you, maybe we don't like you not because of the color of your skin, but because of how you guys only use one person as an excuse to treat all of us bad. And when one Black person treat us bad, we don't go and do protesting and do all this crazy stuff. So yeah, like the people that are there, oh, I'm sorry, why are you sorry for? Are you racist, or why are you saying sorry for? It's, for me, it's ridiculous, honestly. I have never harassed any Black person. They have harassed me, and I have never done that, and I will not do it because I'm not that person. But I'm not gonna apologize for something I didn't do. That's just ridiculous.
All right. So again, I believe her name is Jimmy. She basically said, we don't need to apologize for what Ashley did. And she had a whole laundry list. Basically, one of the things she said is racist to support ICE. Right now, of course, you've seen a lot of people. It's not just Black people. And I'm like, you ain't got no smoke for white folks. See, they always want to have smoke for Black people. We don't have the power here, right? The boogeyman, who some would say the oppressor, them folks, they don't never have smoke for them, but you want to have smoke for us. But yes, there are Black people who support ICE. Now, again, ICE serves a function. ICE is immigration customs enforcement, which means we are getting people out of America who are here illegally. This is not about immigrants that are here legally, but immigrants that are here illegally. And we know that when Biden and Harris went to office, they opened up the border doors wider than they already were and said, come on over, right? And a lot of those people, all of them, were here illegally. Now, some of them were seeking asylum and things like that, but most of them was like, oh, they giving away stuff over there in America, so we're going to go over there. Now, of course, when Trump came into office, he says, yeah, when I get up in there, we're going to have a mass deportation effort. And he got in there, and that's what he started doing. Their effort was to deport 2 million illegal immigrants. And so they said that they deported 2.6 million. Some of them self-deported, and some of them got snatched up. Now, with the snatching up, we saw ICE going about, right, in Minnesota and different places, Los Angeles, where it was really ramped up. Yeah, we did see some ICE agents doing some things they should not have done. But a lot of ICE activity, I would imagine, wasn't in that way. Of course, a lot of that was highlighted with the media. And again, I ask y'all, where are all these ICE raids at? They kind of like this poof. They disappeared. Did they disappear? Are they still going on? And I know they're still going on, but did the attention, especially like from the Democrats, right? And people who want to abolish ICE, did the attention disappear? I would think that's what it was. But yet you're mad at Black folks for supporting ICE. Well, nobody's really too mad when the police department in any state in America is doing what they're doing to Black folks. I don't see anybody mad about that. But nevertheless, if you want to support ICE, that's your right. I always say I'm not about to be out there, calling ICE. I'll let everybody else do that because I still don't mess with the po-po. Okay, ICE is still the po-po. ICE and police, they have jobs they're supposed to be doing. They just don't always do it right. Okay, so I just want to say that. But again, like I said, no smoke for white people. But then she mentioned Jada. Now, y'all might remember, I think it was like a year ago or so, there were these trans individuals there in New York City who beat up a black woman over a parking spot, right? Y'all might remember that. Well, she's saying that y'all said that they were Mexican. I think maybe people were saying that they were Latino, but she says that they were getting all the blame for that. And then she says, well, you guys are just, saying this about us because of one person, the one person being Ashley. And I'm like, Jimmy, because that's the lady's name, I think. Like, I could tell you just got here, right? Jimmy just got here because she has a very heavy accent, okay? Which tells me more than likely she's an immigrant from Mexico, okay? Unless she was, never came out the house and she was just only exposed, sorry about that, to her parents who, speak Spanish, but sounds like she just got here. So maybe she just doesn't know a lot of things. So she said there's one person. We're mad at them because of Ashley. Well, I don't know if we're necessarily mad, but because she hasn't been here that long, maybe she hasn't heard about that. Y'all heard a lot about that, where it says members of a Big Hazard Street gang charged with firebombing black families in 2014. Well, that was a Hispanic gang there in Compton. They were trying to run black residents out of the neighborhood. And yeah, they were throwing Molotov cocktails in their windows, right? Trying to terrorize black folks. Again, this is a Hispanic gang that was doing that, terrorizing black folks who have done absolutely nothing to them, not one thing, trying to run them out the neighborhood. Now, y'all got to also remember that Compton at one point in time was predominantly black, and it had been that for a long time. So then you got them coming in. They want to terrorize black, like a firebomb through the window. Where they get that from? Who is notorious for throwing fire bombs and lighting things on people's yards and stuff? That's them folks. But then they learn that stuff. So Jimmy here is saying, oh, it's just one person. Is it, ma'am? Is it one person? I know, again, you just got here not too long ago because you got a very thick accent. But I'm going to try to educate y'all. If y'all know Jimmy or where she's been or somewhere, y'all point her over here so we can tell her that it ain't just one person. The Ashley Gonzalez who says she hates black people. She's a cop, right? Don't forget that. What else we got? And I always talk about this. Like I said, I'm gonna be very repetitious here because we got to come to an understanding about what we as Black Americans are dealing with in this country. It's not just them folks as our oppressor. It's a whole lot of other people. But this article says an obstacle to Black reparations in California is convincing Latinos, which Jimmy is, right? That woman's Latino, and Asians that we need reparations. Now, anybody who studied just a little bit about slavery, don't just stop at slavery. We ain't gonna even bring in Jim Crow and all that. You know that a debt is due to the descendants of chattel slavery, which was one of the most brutal things, not just in America, but in the history of the world, done to a group of people. There was a study that was taking place there in California, and we know that the California Legislative Black Caucus sabotaged it. But even before it got there, the Latinos and the Asians, they formed a coalition talking about, well, we don't think that blacks should get that because, we're taxpayers and they weren't slaves. And, all the stuff that the oppressor says, they picked up those talking points and decided to get together. Now, if you know the nature of California, there's a lot of Asians there and there's a lot of Hispanics and not so much black folks. There's still black folks there, but not as much as it used to be. But they're on board with stopping black folks from getting reparations. Because again, when I say we, I'm a California, okay, supposed to get about $1.2 million. That's what the finding said. And they, got together and started hating. So maybe Jimmy is just not aware of these things, right? So if y'all see her out there in the TikTok streets or whatever it is, point her over here, okay? Now, another thing. This happened in 2022. Y'all remember? I know Brother Phil talked about it a lot. I know Sister Vicky talked about it a lot. But this basically says Black and Indigenous activists call for Latinx LA city council members to resign over racist remarks. That's when y'all saw the president of the city council, Nuri Martinez, and all her other Latino homies. They got caught, in a sense, on a hot what we call a hot mic, but a recording in some meeting that they had, talking greasy about black folks, talking greasy about the Oaxacans, which are darker skinned Mexicans, right? And calling one of the city council members' child a monkey and all kind of stuff, right? And it took them a while to resign because they was like, well, We don't see the problem, but nevertheless, they did resign. And Nuri, last time I saw, she was having some financial difficulties and things like that because, yeah, racism is expensive. But see, maybe Jimmy, the lady that says we didn't do nothing to y'all, right? They like to say, well, when we didn't do nothing to you, huh? Again, I know that she's new over here, so maybe she's just not knowing. Okay, maybe she really thinks that Black Americans are the problem. But I'm here to tell her, no, 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 no. You could go digging in the crates, home girl, and find a whole lot of things that have been anti-Black that comes from your community. Okay, that was a big old brouhaha. Now, mind you, a lot of these things that I'm talking about are referencing people who are in power. This LA City Council, they have the power. They decide what goes on in a city, the funding, the zoning, in a sense, right? So they have a lot of power. So they weren't just a bunch of, Latinos sitting up, playing cards and drinking coffee and talking about how they despise Black and Oaxacan people. They were there on the dais with the power to make changes against a group of people they just didn't like. So if y'all see Jimmy out there, you let her know. Okay. Also, now we always gonna talk about this. These are the people that are like her, right? The Latinos, the Mexicans. Now, this is way back in the days. Some of these were LULAC presidents, like at the bottom there, Felix Tijerina, 1956. He says, "Let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I do not want to align with him." So he is basically saying, man, forget Black people. I'm not trying to get together with him. Dispelling this what? Black and brown unity that we're told exists. He's saying, Black and brown unity don't exist. In fact, we don't want it to exist. Get away from us, Black folks. We are going to go do our own thing, okay? This cat up above him says we are not and have never been a civil rights organization. Personally, I hate the word, okay? Now, this was Hector Garcia or something like that. Garcia, yeah. And he's basically saying civil rights. I don't like that. You know why he didn't like that? Because they were too busy trying to convince white folks that we are white too, right? And civil rights was for who? Civil rights was for us. It wasn't for nobody else. And so they hating on the sidelines, seeing Black folks trying to get civil rights. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we can't have civil rights until we get human rights because America don't see us as a human. But that's a different conversation. So they sitting on the sidelines hating, talking about, well, we don't want civil rights because, again, they knew that was for us. And hey, white folks, we're like you. And this cat over here, John Herrera, he says Latino Americans of Mexican descent belong to the Caucasian race and are therefore white. So again, he's putting people on notice. We ain't Mexican. We white. We white like you, boss. And we'll prove that we're white like you because we'll hate on Black Americans, right? Well, if you punching down on them, we gonna punch down on them too. If y'all don't want them to have civil rights, we don't want them to have civil rights too. So I'm just trying to educate, Miss Jimmy there, who says we're not doing nothing to y'all. It's just one person. No, it's not one person. It's one system that Latinos often participate in their anti-Blackness. Okay. Then lastly, this guy here, and I always forget his name, but anyway, it's blocked off. It says, I know Negroes aren't getting their fair share of democracy, but frankly, I'm prejudiced against Negroes, and I do not believe that they are entitled to everything that we get. Sir, why are you prejudiced against us? What do we do to you that you're prejudiced against us? Oh, I get it. You're going along with your other homies, that's surrounding you there. I gotta let white folks know. Oh, I ain't rocking with the Blacks like that. Yes, white folks, I hate Black people too. If you think you hate them, watch how much I hate them. That's what that was about. Yes, they have been paying attention from the sidelines and all the horrible things that have gone on to Black Americans due to no fault of our own. They have been watching that, and he said, I know they're not getting their fair share, but so what? What about us? Now, I always tell y'all the story my dad told me years and years and years and years and years ago. I remember being a small child. He says, right now, it's whites and it's Blacks. And Dr. Claude Anderson talked about this as well, whites and Black at the time. And Latinos. He says Latinos, or the Mexican is what he would say, they do not want to be known as the new, let's say, Negro, okay? They don't want to be known as that. So they're going to be working to get to be number two, which they are now. Okay. So that's why they had to divorce themselves from anything that Black folks needed and wanted, Black Americans to be specific. They have to do a lot of punching down and disassociating and all this other stuff. But what do our misleadership, and let's say misleadership with our chest, right? What do our misleadership tell us? Oh, there's Black and brown unity. We hear Maxine Waters all the time. This is the biggest coalition of Black and brown unity. It's like, huh? Notice that. It's them, the Black misleadership. They try to sell that to us the most. Okay. Now, as I'm always like researching and digging and things, I come up across new things. Now, maybe I've heard of this term before, but and I've heard of it, but not really like did any deep diving into it. Well, this term here, it's Juan Crow. It is the brown version, if you will, of Jim Crow. Now, Juan Crow refers to a matrix of laws, social customs, economic institutions, and anti immigrant policies targeting Latinx people and the U.S. designed to produce the same segregation, exploitation, and dehumanization as the historic Jim Crow laws, coined by journalist Roberto Lavato. In 2008, it highlights systemic racial discrimination against immigrants and Mexican Americans. Okay. Now, I say all that to say because, yes, there was a thing as Juan Crow, which also says that, yeah, them same people that they say they are like, did not like them either. And they had, their issues with the Latinos and they did things. But the Latino, again, I just showed y'all their leadership and all their organizations was like, okay, listen, Juan Crow is a thing. We have to get out because we don't want them again. We don't want them to associate us with the Negro. Okay. Now they're calling it Juan Crow. We don't know. Juan Crow doesn't exist because we've been saying that Jim Crow doesn't exist. So if Jim Crow doesn't exist, well, Juan Crow can't be a thing either, which is why they align themselves with white supremacy in denying that Jim Crow was a thing. They in a sense, they were for Jim Crow. Does that make sense? They were for the subjugation of Black Americans. They were okay with that, even to the tune of denying that it's a thing, right? The Latinos was like, well, I don't see the problem. I don't see a problem with these Black codes and, the convict leasing and all the things that they did to us and Jim Crow. They had to disassociate themselves because, hey, white people, we're like you. Y'all often hear a lot how Latinos say we're white. Right? Even on a lot of their birth certificates and things like that. I told y'all I used to work for the census. And I came across a lot of Latinos who said they were white. Now, I can't tell them who they are. You ask them, what is your race, ethnicity? And to be fair, for whatever reason, they couldn't say that they were Hispanic. They could say that they were like Mexican or something like that. But oftentimes they would say they were white. And I'm like, but I couldn't tell them that. It's against the law for me to say, are you sure about that? Because I could clearly see that they weren't. But I'm just telling you that is because in their mind, they're like, I'm white. Okay. Now, as far as Miss Jimmy, so again, if y'all see her out there, the woman who had something to say about it's just one person, it's not all of us, and we're racist for supporting ICE and all this other stuff. See, I'm thinking about it more and more, and I'm trying to really figure out why are they mad with us, especially now, right? Of course, we know ICE is out there and these protests are going on, which we are visibly absent from, right? Black folks are like, mind my business, okay? What did Maxine Waters say? I'm reclaiming my time. So Black folks are saying we're reclaiming our time. Yeah, we see what's going on out there with y'all, but see, Black Americans are always involved in some gangster stuff. When I say gangster stuff, I mean like police brutality and all these other things. FBI statistics say that we are the most targeted and most harmed. Nobody really cares about that kind of stuff. But now that ICE is out there running around and doing their job per se, people want to know where are the Blacks. Again, the Blacks have heard everything that y'all said. Y'all not Black, y'all white. Y'all ain't trying to align with us and this, that, and the other. But see, as I think about it, I'm like, what is their deal? And I think their deal is, especially with people like Jimmy, is they hate us due to our rejection of the treatment that we have been told is okay. Now, what I mean by that is especially like with this whole Black and brown unity thing, We have been told it's a thing, right? Black and brown, black and brown, black and brown. But I keep asking y'all, right? As I ask myself, do you ever hear anybody else other than Black misleadership or Black people talk about the black and brown unity? Yeah, you might hear there people here and there on the internet say there's a black and brown unity. Listen, it should be black and brown unity. It should be black, it should be brown, it should be yellow, it should be red. It should be all these unities because we got the same oppressor, right? They played a job on all of us. They've taught us to be disjointed and all those other things, but it does not exist. And so they are mad that we as Black Americans especially are waking up and saying, well, I don't want to participate in this black and brown unity because it's one-sided. Again, only time the Black misleadership nowadays ever speak to us as Black folks is really about black and brown unity because we see what they're doing. They're out there running around pro illegal immigration, right? I'm hiding in back alleys. Or they crying like Jasmine Crockett, about what ICE is doing and all this other stuff. They don't talk about our issues. You're starting to hear them a tiny bit now, talk about reparations, but we know they ain't serious, right? That's that carrot on the string to Black Americans. Oh, it's election time again. And guess what we're going to try to do? We're going to try to get reparations. No, you're not. Stop lying. Okay, you ain't got a lie to kick it. We own it, y'all. Okay, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe with you Black misleadership anymore because the truth of the matter is you don't want us to have it because if we get reparations, then we don't need you for nothing. Right? We are self-sufficient, which is what we're supposed to be doing anyway. Up your mighty nation, accomplish what you will, do for self, practice group economics. And we're going to always have that conversation. But the Democrat Party especially do not want Black Americans, their most loyal group of voters, to be self-sufficient because then we start saying, I don't need to listen to the talking points of the Democrats talking about, oh, you need us. You need us in office because if we're not in office, then you can't get this and you can't get that. You can't get this. Like, well, what are we getting specifically? See, they never say what we're getting specifically. It's just anytime they talk about stuff, it includes everybody else. Okay. Now, the other thing, too, is we're starting to really wake up about this everybody else stuff with the affirmative action, the DEI, and still to this moment, they're trying to tell us DEI is about us. Is it? It was supposed to be the original form, right? Affirmative action. Yeah, all that was supposed to be for us, but it was hijacked. All the civil rights, everything was hijacked from us. And some of us, we're to blame for that. Right now, I know a lot of times they talk about the baby boomers and things like that. They were doing the best they can with what they thought they should be doing and all of that. But as I always ask for our generation, right? A Generation X, what was our excuse? Why did we stay asleep? Why do we keep following the baby boomers into this? Well, we ain't got what we wanted. We get to, live next to white folks. We get to eat their seasonless soup. And like my friend Donovan says, sit next to them and eat seasonless soup. That's all we want. Right? For a lot of the baby boomers, they thought Barack Obama was, progress or a form of reparation. Whoo, child, we can really rest now. And we know what Barack Obama did. He didn't do a damn thing for Black folks, and in a sense bragged about it. I'm not gonna upset white folks. I knew that they wouldn't like it, so I kicked Black Americans in the tailbone. So I'm trying to come to a conclusion as to why they're really mad at us, and I really believe it's the rejection of their hate, to which we were taught was normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to be the punching bag of everybody else. I mean, my God, we've been the punching bag of them people, and now we got to be the punching bag, or expected to be rather, of every other group that comes over here that's taught misinformation about Black Americans. And then when we stop going along to get along, then we the problem. See, I guess we weren't supposed to call out, Ashley Gonzalez and the foolishness that she had going on. Guess we were supposed to say, well, that's not all of them. Well, one of them is enough. That lady had the power to harm somebody. I mean, God forbid, how many Black folks are at the prisons there, here in Texas, or in the jails behind something they didn't do simply because she hated Black folks. I get it. Somebody stealing from you, to make you mad. But you want to take it out on a whole group of people? But yet that woman's talking about it's not all of us. Well, it's not enough of y'all speaking out against it. But do not be mad at Black Americans because we are now waking up to and rejecting that. Okay. Now, this is the other thing. To me, the solution should be for us to continue to wake up, right? And along with us sitting on the sidelines and saying, hey, everybody else, you do the voodoo you do so well. We also have to ask this Miss Black leadership So stop talking to us about black and brown unity unless you are talking to the other side too. Because black and brown unity right now is one sided. It's not, hey, brown people, black folks are catching hell out here. Come on, drop everything you're doing and go help black Americans. You don't never hear that, right? So black and brown unity is sold one sided. It's sold to black folks because black folks, we have been conditioned to, you are not important. Any and everything you have going on, it will never be as important as you feeling that white folks are more important than you, and any and everything they got going on, you're supposed to, what can we do? Asians, oh, yes, I guess we are the boogeyman, and that's why they need a hate crime bill. Hispanics, right? It's not just Hispanics that are getting deported by ICE, but it's a lot of them, right? They're, we've been expected to go, hey, put your boots on, lace them up, put feet to the street, and get out there in these ICE protests, right? That's one-sided. So unless they start selling the other side that you need to help black people too, you know what black Americans want? We want reparations. We want our 40 acres and a mule, okay? Or a car or a tractor. I don't know, okay? We want hate crime bills. We want everything that our leadership fight for y'all to have, okay? Because again, when they get the gavel back, and it's not my words, it's theirs, they being the Democrats, they said that they are going to be trying to get reparations for illegal immigrants. I don't hear them saying, no. We can't cut the line. Black Americans have been asking for reparations. No, I couldn't. I thank you for considering me, but I couldn't get reparations before. You don't hear nobody saying that, right? So until they start saying, hey, brown, come help the black. It's a lot of y'all. Help them get reparations. Tell them, whoever it is, the politicians, unless my fellow black Americans get some reparations, we are not going to do A, B, C, and D, okay? Until we start hearing that, ain't no black and brown unity, right? So stop falling for the myth of black and brown unity. Right now, it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean it shouldn't. It just doesn't exist. And the one thing I will say about this is, I know me personally, I'm over feeling guilty about everybody else's struggle while my people, as I said, are catching hell and don't nobody give a damn. So I want to see what y'all got to say. And thank you for bearing with me. I'm about to start sweating, y'all. It's hot up in this piece. So I'm going all the way to the top. I'm going to try to acknowledge everybody at least once. Ooh, y'all got a lot to say. Anyway, Clownless, how you doing? Mike Nice, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. King Noble, Current Affairs with Sarah, how you doing? Carmack, how you doing? Says they don't and we don't need to help or care about them. Listen, I'm a compassionate person. I think we should care about other people. I don't think we should ever get to the point where we don't care about other people. I just have never believed that we should care about people more than we care about ourselves. They say the first law of nature is self-preservation, right? It's not the first law of nature is care about everybody else before you care about yourself. That's not how that works. So we want to be compassionate, care about other people, but we don't want to put everybody else first while we are continuously being pushed to the bottom. Does it make sense? JJ, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Saul, what's going on with you? Says, I'm tired. Y'all not? Okay, well, it depends on what you're tired of. Let's see. Jasmine, what's going on with you? Grand rising to you as well. Andre, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Todd, greetings to you. Fudge, salute to you as well. Thank you for being here. Al B. Chill in the building. What is going on? Vantina, how about that right? How you doing? Says, I'm sick and tired of all of this. Y'all don't like us, and I'm in Cali. We don't like y'all backstabbing butts. Well, yeah, and that's an issue too. I cannot tell you all the conversations that I've been having with people, especially in regards to a lot of gatekeeping that goes on just in regular jobs like McDonald's, right? I'm starting to hear from a lot of Black folks. They're saying, I can't get a job. They won't hire us. Why? Because they get in these management positions and things like that. We're not hiring. It's like, but we're hiring sign outside. Okay. So you're not hiring me, or you just not hiring? So there's a lot of gatekeeping going on with that as well, but they don't want to talk about that. They want to say, "Oh, you guys are lazy. We work hard." It's like when we're trying to get a job. You know, when I say we, I'm talking about kids and stuff who get, regular summer jobs or restaurant jobs, even they can't get a job, and it's crazy. Let's see. Storm, how you doing? Says that good. That's good. They will not apologize. Let God have his hand on them. I'm done explaining. I'm over. Yeah, and I don't care if they apologize, right? I don't care nothing about their apology. Like I don't care about that funky apology from California talking about we're sorry for slavery. What can we do with an apology? The best apology, as they say, is change behavior. They're not willing to do that, though. They want to deny it's a thing, you know? You know what, Jasmine, you crazy. I'm just reading some of the comments. Great blackness was going on. Says no one said they hate Mexicans. We just stand up for ourselves, not other groups, because they have never stood up for us. But see, that's what they hear. They hear we hate you. It's like, no, we don't hate you. We just loving ourselves more. See, they don't want you to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, then yeah, you go out there and you help everybody else and negate everything you got going on. See, it's hateful to have, as I always use this example, five pieces of bread in your house. You got five people, and then somebody like your neighbor comes over and say, "Hey, can I borrow 5 pieces of bread?" You say, "Oh, okay, here." Then now your family looking at you like, while their stomachs are growling, "Why would you give our bread away?" "Well, I just thought I just, I love them more. I want them to have some bread." So you love them more, you hate us. That's how that works, So we got to stop doing that. Aggie student, how you doing? So that's okay. They don't need to apologize. It's all good. Take care. And you saying Isis says, meanwhile, we'll keep on minding our black business. But see, that's what we were supposed to be doing in the first place. But we were told, nah, later for your business. Come over here and help everybody else. But we are now saying, no, I don't want to help everybody else. I want to help ourselves. We have to help ourselves. Okay. And you also must realize that a group of people who are supposed to be the worst people, the usual suspects. You don't get that kind of hate unless people know that you are all that and then some. They know the power of black folks. They ain't stupid. See, they know that a lot of us don't know it yet, but we're waking up. We are very powerful, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. Again, they didn't go get the weakest people and put them on the plantations, did they? They put the strongest people they know. I don't think they didn't try to put other people on those plantations. And they was like, yeah, there's our people right there. And listen, we still surviving the game that's been rigged over and over and over again for us to fail, and we still surviving. So they know who we are. You don't ask for the weakest people to come out there and help you protest. See, they know we know how to do that, but now we good. Okay. We could protest with our money. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Protest, keep our money from an oppressive system, recycle our dollars back into our own communities. We can build our own things and we just drown out the noise. But like, listen, that ain't got nothing to do with us. We too busy minding our own, black pound and businesses and things like that. So yeah. David, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says I like ICE. ICE is legal. You don't understand law because it's not in your DNA. Just stop jumping. Well, you talking to Jimmy. The border is closed right now. Although I did see something that the Supreme Court was saying to some degree it's illegal to have the border closed because there are people coming over here who are seeking asylum and they can't do that. So it's very interesting. Palestine chick, how you doing? Says black people, you can't force people to like you. Move along. Well, I've never been one of them people to beg people to like me. I don't care if you don't like me. Only way I care is if you affecting the way I eat, sleep, and pay my bills. Then I care, right? But I don't care about the feelings of other people who have misdirected feelings like her. What are we doing to y'all? We're not doing it if you don't knock it off. Like I said, I know she's new here. So maybe she just needs to learn some things. 23 Archer, how you doing? Says they are ICE officers. Yeah, they own people, ICE officers, but they mad at us. I see a lot of Latino ICE officers out there. No smoke for them, huh? It's almost like how appalling black folks. How dare you? It's like, well, if you're breaking the law, that's what y'all say about us. Well, you should have obeyed the law. What happened before the video? All that foolishness they tell us. So it's like, if it's good for us, it should be good for you too. Right? All right. So who else haven't I seen? Skipping on down. Barbara was going on. She said, stop requesting apologies means absolutely nothing. Well, yeah, I ain't requesting nothing from them. Angel, how you doing? You know what? I'm gonna leave that to y'all too. Dylan was going on. She says, why would you support ICE? I don't know if it's necessary that I support ICE. I'm a logical person, at least I think I am. So I'm like, Well, ICE is law enforcement. You know that ICE has been around since 2002, since 9/11. Okay. Believe what you want about 9/11. But that's why ICE is here, to make sure that people do not come in the United States that have nefarious intentions. That's what ICE is for. And so if you are coming over here legally and nobody knows you're here and what you're here to do, anything can happen. So it's not a matter of I support ICE in the sense that I support the things that the media and things are telling y'all, right? I don't support that. But again, that's propaganda as well. Because as I asked y'all, where are all these ramped up ICE raids that we were seeing a couple of months ago? They just went away, right? You don't see LaMonica McIver out there, the one who's looking at 17 years. You don't see her out there trying to bust into ICE facilities. What happened? It just went away. See, they did that to y'all, not y'all, but them over there. They did that to keep y'all emotionally. What, they don't care about it no more? So I think we have to define, what do you mean when we support ICE? Because I know what you're saying, but I support the function of ICE. I don't support the foolishness of ICE. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. MG told what's going on with you, says, who asked for an apology? I didn't, right? Let's see. Rolling Thunder was going on, says ICE needs to tighten up. I guess. Peach was going on with you, says, I heard the Department of Homeland Security, which is over ICE, is being defunded. They're trying to defund the Department of Homeland Security, which is where all this contention is with the TSA agents at the airport, where they didn't get paid. It was a couple of weeks ago. And it sounds like that may be happening again because the Democrats and Republicans are fighting over funding Department of Homeland Security. But again, the Democrats are fighting to do that. Like I said, where are these ICE raids? But they won't fight to fund the police, that harms Black folks. But they out there fighting to defund ICE over illegal immigrants. Why? I see, not y'all. Them over there, y'all not mad enough about that for me. It's just lunacy at this point. Like, these aren't made up things. These are things that are actually happening. And the most loyal group of voters, the Black voter, will go and vote for more of that. For Democrats to say, hey, I don't care if you need to fly somewhere and the lines are going to be like, I went to drop my niece and nephew off a couple weeks ago, fly back home. The line at IAH in Houston to go through TSA was in like where below downstairs where the tram is. That's how long the line was, because TSA agents were not going to work because they're like, I need my money. They don't care about that though. They being the Democrats. Let's see, softer side of how you doing? It says nobody wants an apology. We want the people who want to be white to just go and be white. Well, see, they can't go and be white because in order for you to be, you can say you white, but white people got to accept you. White folks don't accept them. Talking about they white, they dislike them just as much as they dislike us. Maybe, I don't know. High loss Dorsey, how you doing? Says spoken like a true egotistical, prideful, gaslighting projectionist. Okay, I'm not sure who that's referring to. Maybe the lady. Somalia against Pan-Africanism. How you doing? Says you will apologize. Well, I don't care if she apologizes or not. Donnell, what's going on with you? Says a DACA. Yeah, a DACA. We'll say a DACA recipient, okay? Because all that other stuff you got going on, I can't say that on here. Mike, how you doing? Says that looks like another woman apologizing. She might be, but she's telling her own people don't do it. Khalid, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thank you for asking everybody to hit the like button. I appreciate that. And sorry for taking me so long to get to y'all. I'm working on it though. I'm going all the way to see if I can acknowledge everybody. One Sister Sunlight, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Cool BR, what's going on? It says immigrants better worry about birthright citizenship and ICE. Yes, and I was researching that too. I'm not done on how they actively, especially the Latinos, actively sought out to hijack the 14th Amendment in a sense. Like, yeah, that needs to be about us as well. So I'm still doing some digging into that. It's funny how the things you learn when you actually just sit down for a second and just do a little bit of research. Then you understand a lot of things, right? Ebony, what's going on with you? Says, whoa, F the haters of our reparations. Yeah, it's not if, it's when, right? We get it when we start to organize a little bit more. We'll get it. Sergeant King, what's going on? Says, I wear what? I call ICE hat. They get real mad. Stop me. Well, see, yeah, I let you have that. PA was going on, says, when did we ask them for an apology? Maybe somebody she knows. I haven't seen it. We don't want an apology. You know how many apologies Black Americans have gotten? Apology with no check. I don't want that. In fact, you could keep your apology and give me the check. Apology does not undo the horror that has been exacted upon us, our ancestors, and even to this day, that doesn't undo it. I'm sorry. No. Live, love, death. Damn. How you doing? It says, yep, we stand with the natives. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going down, y'all. I'm coming all the way down. Albert Chill says, how come they never have that smoke for the cartels in their homelands? Now you asking questions that should be easy to answer, but no, they treat us like the cartel, don't they? Like we've done nothing to you. Nothing. And y'all know I'm from Southern California, right? Southern California all day. Born and raised in California. And the things that people are now talking about regarding the Black and Latino community, it's not new. They're very anti-Black. But I just think they think it's normal that they're that way. And it's like, no, it's not normal. See, we're now really speaking out about it. And they don't like to hear the truth about themselves. You're very anti-Black. And it's okay. I mean, even their own people are saying, well, it's true. Well, why are we lying about that? We don't like Black people. So yeah. Gmail one, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. It says repercussions about that mouth. You crazy. New York, yes, Queen, what's going on? It says it's a troll in here. I didn't see him, but that's okay. I like trolls. Mr. Thompson, what's going on with you? I like them because I like to eat the lunch. Aaron, how you doing? Hope that you're doing well today. I promise I'm gonna try to get to I'm gonna try to get everybody's comments. Sister Shirley in the building. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. Let's see. Let's see. Chris, what's going on? Says, where are the moderators? I don't know. I think they're more like a nighttime thing. Maybe they are doing something in the day. That's okay. I can moderate. Believe me, you. Going down. Because I like to see what you guys have to say. Because I learned a lot of things. Scoop, how you doing? Did I say hello to you? Not hello. Biggie 5423. What's going on with you? You say. So you're saying hello to everybody. Charles, Charles, how you doing? Y'all, look, I'm gonna show you. So y'all don't think I just can't read. Sometimes I can't read, but sometimes it be our names. Charles, how you doing? I know you, Charles. I know Charles personally. That's a homie from way back in the day. Renz, what's going on with you? Pay me. Hope you're doing well. It says Asians are number two, not Latinos. Asian make more than whites. Well, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about as far as population is concerned. So population is whites, Hispanics, Blacks, Asians, and then others. And Asians are, right? They're starting to creep up. And that also has a lot to do with some of the propaganda and programming that they push in our community, right? With Planned Parenthood and, a lot of things like that. It keep a lot of division in the Black community between the Black woman and the Black man. So we can't procreate. It's a lot, right? Incarceration. We are disproportionately the most incarcerated anywhere in the United States. So if our people are incarcerated, right? Incarceration means that you're in a woman prison or a man prison, which means y'all don't get together. Now I know they get together with the correctional officers. That's a whole different conversation. But when you have disproportionately amount of people locked up the most, there's not a lot of procreation going on there. So that I'm just speaking to in terms as to why our population is doing this. And then, we do a lot of Yosemite Samming, if you know what I mean, in our community. We have to stop that. So yeah. Karen, how you doing? So it seems like the Latino people issues are with Trump. They voted for him and they still gonna vote for him. They still do not vote for the party that champions for them the most. Again, they're like 50, 50, 51, 49, 60 something, 30 something. They don't vote predominantly like we do. And our misleadership is out there trying to help them the most. It's lunacy. Like they're even so anti-Black. They're like, I don't want to vote for nobody Black, right? Or even the Democrats who, it's insanity. It really is. Carl Winslow, is that you? How you doing? Okay, I got you. I got some of these things that I can't read on here like that. But I hear what you're saying. Let's see. Firsty Beats. How you doing? Okay. I'll let y'all have all of that as well. Patrice, I hope I said that right. How you doing? You say Black people, y'all need to stick together thicker than thieves. Yeah, we working on that. Trust me, we are working on that. There's a lot of things, especially going on behind the scenes, where we are really trying to just get out there and, touch our people more and say, hey, did you know? Because the real issue is a lot of our people just don't know. or they're only tuned in to one source of information, right? Y'all know the regular Democrat shilling that goes on with you have to show up to vote because if you don't show up, then Trump is the boogeyman and he's gonna do all these things to you if you don't vote for the Democrats. Right? And so that's what they listen to. That's their source of information. But you'll be surprised when you tell some of your family members and friends, hey, unplug from some of that. Go get some another viewpoint of things. They're like, wow, I didn't know that. Like I have these conversations on the intimate level with people, and they just are blown away by the things they didn't know. They know the, the Ricky Rollins and the DL talking points, but they don't know the truth of what voting like that, predominantly Democrat does to Black Americans. They just have no idea. So we got to keep on talking, right? So yeah, Bill, what's going on? Says every group in America sticks together except I think it meant Black people. We need to come together and not deal with other groups. I would say we stick together in some things, but we need to stick together like we used to, right? That picture, Madam C.J. Walker, those people were together. Okay, they followed the lead of hey, let's work for self and all that. She built something, so they stuck together. They had 1,200 Black towns at one point in time. That was sticking together. So we need to get back to that. But I agree with you. We're working on it. We are a work in progress. Midwest, what's going on with you? That's how you feel. Roz, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, Black Communion, how you doing? It says, how are Latino Ali upset with Black people, but not upset with whites in this time of day because they know better? Okay, you can't keep up the charade of we're white too and be mad at white people. See, it doesn't work that way. We got to pretend. If I say we, I mean, if I'm Latino, we got to pretend white people, we have the same struggles. We feel the same way about those Blacks. So I think that's kind of why, like I said, I'm still studying, trying to learn myself. Beats by Dizzy, what's going on? It says white fatigue. We need the Michael Jordans, Floyd. Come on now, Floyd Mayweather's and Pooh Shiesties of Ice. Yeah, those people are problematic too. They got their own things going on. I don't know if they're necessarily pro-Black. I mean, in a sense they are, but they got some weirdness going on too. But I hear what you're saying. Antoinette, what's going on with you? Tito, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Apalaka, hope you're doing well. I'm just gonna say hello to everybody. Van, what's going on with you? And gosh, I'm not gonna get to the end of these comments. I lied again. Team Titan Global, how you doing? Says that's true. I see that in the hospitals too. A lot of them have their race as white. Yeah, they do. Y'all think I'm lying? See, somebody else says they identify as white. And it's a lot of that is to do with, well, we're not Black. Yeah, Lloyd, me no Black. Me no Black until it benefits me. Visionary, how you doing? Says, what a sad day. We don't have any hate like she displayed in that video. Nah, Black Americans traditionally aren't a hater of other people. Unfortunately, we hate ourselves more. But that's not our nature to hate other people. We are the most welcoming group of people. We really are, right? And again, I apologize. Bro Goo, how you doing for not getting McQueen? What's going on? Everybody's comment. Facts, not feelings. How you doing? I'm not able to do it. I wish that I was, but I want to go down to here. And then I want to tell y'all a story before I leave. With that, where did it go? Ooh, y'all got a lot of comments. Y'all are on fire. O'Brien, how you doing? Says I support ICE. F what she talking about. And I'm gonna put this up here because you donated and as much appreciated. Every little bit that you guys donate to this channel, it helps us to be able to do more and go farther. Again, we want to start having town halls and getting out there. Brother Phil is out there now, right? That costs money to do that. So every bit that y'all donated is much appreciated. I promise you, we're gonna put it to good use. So anyway, the story that I was gonna tell about this whole little Black and brown unity and how Black folks really are very accepting. My younger brother, I have a little brother, he's 45, 46, something like that. Well, when he was in high school, he said they did an experiment. And the experiment was basically everybody had to say which group they would date and which group they wouldn't date. Now, he said it was him and another Black boy in the class. And they said, other races that they would date if they had to do it or whatever. He said everybody else in that class said that they would not date somebody Black. So he said the Hispanics said they date the Asians and vice versa and the white and things like that. But they said everybody else said they would not date somebody Black. And so we often have this discussion, and it's like, why? Not that I care if you date anybody black. I'm not going there, but I'm saying, why? What have black people did to you? Now, I know that they are all conditioned to think that black people are the problem, right? We are the problem of the world. But again, people must understand, especially in regards to what happened to black Americans here, we're minding our business. We didn't ask for any of the things that happened to us and are happening to us. The things that happened to us was due to no fault of our own. We were overpowered, okay? Yes. But we have done nothing to nobody. We have not, as a group of people, set out to hate another group of people. We, as a group of people, have not set out to go harm another group of people, whether it's politically, whether it's financially, whether it's fit. We've not done that. But these are the things that are taught to everybody else. So again, we are waking up and we're shaking off the guilt. Does that make sense? We're shaking off the guilt that has been taught to us. Like, no. What Dr. Claude Anderson talks about it, manutoris manumission, which basically means that we, in a sense, were taught to feel more for white folks than our own self, right? Even if it was to tell on other black folks. Listen, massa, look, they're making a run for it, right? Which is how somebody like Nat Turner got turned in. It was somebody black that was trying to appease white folks. You think about that. Just think about it. Just for a moment. Envision being on that plantation, okay? And you see Nat Turner making a run for it. You're watching this and you kind of know what he's going to do, or maybe you've heard what he's been doing. What do you do? Do you say, Massa, look? Or if you like me, you're like, I'm rooting for you. You know, even if I don't have the courage at the moment to go join Nat Turner, I'm rooting for him, because imagine the more and more plantations that he goes to and he picks up more and more black people and say, I've been waiting for somebody like you. Let's roll, right? I'll be thinking, well, we outnumber them. It was just a fact. We did. Okay. And Nat Turner, he goes and wakes up more people. And then one day we'll be free. That's what I think I would have been thinking. Of course, I wasn't on the plantation, so I can't really say that. But me in 2026, I'd be like, you go. But again, that was something we've been conditioned from the plantation. You will always consider everybody else more than you consider yourself. You see somebody trying to do things that benefit Black Americans, you tell on them. You get out there and you jump on your soapbox and you talk to all the other plantation Negroes and tell them you need to stay here on the Democratic plantation because nobody cares for you like the Democrats and nobody's going to help you. So you stay right here. Don't you go thinking for yourself. Don't you go trying to make a run for it. And if you see somebody else telling you to make a run for it, well, you report them and we'll organize and we'll try to cancel them for thinking for themselves, because it's bad. It's bad to think for yourself. So I'm just saying all that to say, once we start shaking off the guilt of we got to help everybody else, it's like, because we've been taught it's your duty. It's your duty to help everyone. You don't help yourself. Once we shake that off and say, I will not apologize. I will not feel guilty for trying to save my people, for telling our people stop spending 97% of nearly $2 trillion with everybody else who will thumb their nose at you and say, we're not sorry for being anti-Black, right? I will not apologize for saying we need to build, own, and control, operate our own businesses so that we are not dependent and we stop becoming beggars of people who will never do anything to help us, right? I will not apologize for that. I will not apologize for not wanting to put people over me who just came here on their own free will and not a government of the United States who is the triple OG oppressor of us, has handed it to them. They came over here because they wanted to, and now they want us to get out there and help them break the law. Nah. Because see, when we see our people on the ground with a knee on their neck, a lot of those people talking about, well, what did he do to deserve it? Right? So we're not going to apologize for saying no more. We're going to put ourselves first, and we don't give a damn if you like it or not. It's just the way it is. So y'all join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. Stay tuned for all of the other wonderful content. I will be on my channel, I think, tonight at 5 p.m. Central Time for another great conversation. In the meantime, I love you all dearly. Cannot wait to see you again tomorrow. Peace.